Let me ask you this then, in terms of the failure rate in general. What would you say are some of the most significant challenges then in a ERP organizational change effort that may contribute to these failures and challenges? What are some of those, I guess, influences look like?
Yeah. So an ERP, it has an impact to the organization. And the question is, can the organization describe to the organization itself why it has to be done? Why are you going through this process? What is the outcome? What are the benefits? And if that is accepted by the people that are not only implementing, but also the people you're affecting by the implementation, you do see a higher adoption. People understand why. And that's why, on one side, training, and not just training on what the application does, but why do I do an extra step so I solve somebody else's problem with 20 steps? So the whole chain becomes better. In order to accept that change, you have to also remove emotional aspects of the organization. What will my role be? How will it affect me? And the less time spent on that, the organization in itself will a little bit, I won't say rebel, but they will have reasons why not. And also, if the organization is not strong enough from a management decision standpoint, those things linger on and they become worse over time.
Yeah.
Because that change impacts people. If people understand what the impact does to them, why it's necessary for the organization, you see a much higher adoption of that change.
Yeah. So in other words, internal alignment, communication is highly relative to adoption, really making sure, because I think that has a lot to do with stakeholder motivation as well, right? That's a really good point, that if everyone is aligned on the purpose and the value and the mission, then you're more likely, I think, to have more motivated stakeholders that take ownership and drive the project.
Yeah. And then you also set yourself up for continuous change, continuous improvement, because if you can see it going, because an ERP implementation is not, we're live, now we're done.
Exactly.
That's just one aspect, right? So you gotta keep moving. The world is keeping, the world is changing. Your organization is changing. So you gotta get that as part of your DNA is adopting that change. And the higher you set off from the acceptance in the beginning, the more you will be successful going forward.
That's great. I tell people all the time that the ERP implementation, you're just building the foundation. That's just the tool set for continuous improvement opportunities for years to come. So you just put that foundation in, and if you do it well and you put the right pieces in place, then the whole idea is to give you opportunities for that continuous improvement in organizational performance for many years.